Hello you lot, Miller Corner here, welcome back once again. And now that we've discovered everything that's not perfect on my Alfa GTV, let's get to work on fixing it. You couldn't make it up, my neighbour has just turned their strimmer on as I started filming. Cheers for that. Anyway, the first thing I want to sort on the GTV is the grille. You can probably tell the grille is not at its best. The mesh is all faded, the badge is awful, and whilst the chrome is in good nick, it's about the only thing about the grille that is. So let's pull it out and make it look just a little bit classier. These bolts do look a little bit past their best, I think, but with any luck we can actually get them all out, and if we can, and that does release the grille, we can get to work on getting it looking a little bit nicer. Now, because this is on the leading edge of the car, and as a result it's probably copped a lot of weather over the years, these bolts probably aren't going to come out very easily. So WD-40, other brands are available. Who am I kidding? You're only ever going to use WD-40. Is at hand to hopefully loosen these up a bit. I rather assumed they were 10mm. I'm assuming they are. They're not a 10mm. Holy crap, they're not 10mm. 7mm was in fact the bolt size for the front grille. Let's see if my WD-40 action has helped. Aha! Oh, easy peasy. Oh, this is easy. He hopes, having not done the third one yet. This is the one that I'm slightly worried is going to be the problem child, because the other two were so... Well, that happened. It would appear the bolt snapped. Damn it. So putting the slightly broken bolt behind us, this is what the back of the GTV grille looks like. And you might notice that one of these little clips that holds the badge on is not there. That's because I've already had a go and got that prized off. There's quite a lot of chrome that's going to need masking off just to paint that one little bit of mesh. So I'm thinking, how much of a job is it going to be to take this mesh out of the grille entirely to save all that masking up? Right, we're masked, flatted down, cleaned, prepped and ready to go, and you know what that means? Joe Paints Random Stuff. Do-do-do. Yep, that's right, and on this episode of Joe Paints Random Stuff, we've got the grille off my Alfa GTV. Got some plastic primer here, grey, because if you're painting a dark colour you want dark primer, and without further ado, cue the montage. Our next problem comes from the rear of the GTV, where if we pop the lovely boot here, you will note that it doesn't stay up. That is not today's issue. The gas struts in there have completely had it. We are going to fix those, but in the meantime, I've got a special tool for the job. I've got this totally official Alfa Romeo branded boot prop, so we can have a look at today's problem. Yeah. That water, in case you're wondering, is not standard fitment. In fact, this appears to be leaking water ever so slightly, but I am told by a very helpful guy called Jack. So Jack, if you're watching, thanks for your help, dude, you're a legend. This water ingress into the rear light bar is fairly common on 916 GTVs and Spiders, and that might be part of the reason why I had my intermittent indicator issue when I was driving this home, because if water gets in, it basically goes into the indicator circuit and works its way around, and sometimes it causes problems, sometimes it doesn't. So we need to take this light bar out, clean it all up in there, seal it up, and hopefully we can get rid of the water ingress and make the indicator problem a thing of the past. To get the rear light bar off, it's held on by all these little plastic clips. You can see these little twiddly things down here. Now there's nothing complicated about them, they just spin off, and then we should be able to get this back bit of carpet off. But the easiest way to do it is, of course, if you're a YouTuber, this. And there you have it, all the clips are off, and that should mean, okay, so that is now off, look, and if we look in here, we see a treasure trove of things. Now there are a few of these little metal studs which were holding the little clips in that held that bit of carpet in, and then if we look right deep in the bowels of it are some bolts as well. So I think what we need to do, once we've unplugged all the wiring, which looks to be just a few clips, we should be able to get this light bar off. Who said Alfa Romeo ownership was difficult, eh? Skinning my knuckles to undo the nuts, I eventually loosen the light bar. There's evidence of a failed seal too. It's wet underneath and on the seal itself. With the nuts undone, Dad offers an extra pair of hands to lift the light bar out, and it's left in the sun to dry the moisture out. We then clean the connections out and replace some of the aged bulbs, with yet more evidence of water ingress. The end of the bulb is all corroded, which suggests water being let in. Not good. Bulbs refreshed, we take the light bar out back, drill some small drainage holes in the bottom, and then seal up the casing to prevent any more leaking. While the sun dried out some of the moisture you saw, some of it remained for hours afterwards. We could reach through the back of the light bar and touch it, but it felt dry and there was no damp anywhere. The best we could come up with was that the moisture had somehow got between the layers of plastic. The only total fix would be a new light bar, but fresh bulbs, cleaned contacts, some drainage holes and a good seal will at least prevent any more moisture getting in, and there's noticeably less in it now than there was when we started. Leaving the sealant to dry in the sun, the grille is unmasked, revealing a glossy black finish. Anyway, now we've actually got the mesh looking the business, the next thing is the badge, which might well have come off an Alfa from the 30s for how knackered it looks. Thankfully, it's only stuck on to the bezel of the grille, and I've got a lovely new replacement. Only £3 on eBay. Bargain. Before we stick it on though, got to get this one off, which will require a little bit more than just brute force and ignorance. Stay tuned. Light force and precision turned out to be required as we gently prised away an edge with a thin screwdriver and a scraper. Being careful not to damage the chrome, the badge eventually lifts away. Hey! Next, a good daub of Sikaflex is applied to the badge area before the replacement badge is pressed firmly into place. This is precise and a little bit tense because it will look crap if it goes on wonky. While that dries, we refit and bolt up the light bar before plugging everything back in and confirming that the bulb servicing made them much brighter and clearer. The boot seal is put back on and the light bar is done. Finally, I give the chrome grille bezel a damn good polish while Dad drills out the broken screw. Then, in a great advert for why not to use autofocus, I refit the refurbished grille. With me keeping a watchful eye on the camera, Dad winds a self-tapper into the third hole, and our day working on the GTV is finished. The transformation is huge. We've gone from this to this. In some ways, this has been one of the best days working on a car. We've had problems, but we've also found some creative solutions and some upsides in the downsides. Whilst we haven't managed to get rid of that condensation, mist, water, whatever it is in the rear light bar, we have sealed it up to stop it leaking and prevented it from corroding any more bulbs out. We've cleaned out the circuit, put some new bulbs in it, and the rear lights are clearer and brighter than ever, and frankly, that in itself is an improvement and an achievement. That grille, meanwhile, is fantastic. The chrome got a bit of a polish up, the black mesh looks incredible, and that badge just finishes the picture off. Small steps forward then, but already the GTV is moving on and improving from the day I bought it. Stay tuned for plenty more episodes of Alfa Romeo fixes, read also typical days of Alfa Romeo ownership, and I'll catch you very soon everybody. Thanks for watching and have a good one.